What's good, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless, and I'm back with another entry into my Let's Talk Music series where I give my thoughts and opinions about some of the latest and greatest, projects, mixtape, albums, LPs, EPs, and everything and anything in between. And before we get started, if you are liking these videos, please smash that like and subscribe button for you. And if you like any of the gear that I rock in these videos, like this one right here, you can also head over to the official site and grab some for yourself. But let's get right into it. It's a deeply personal affair as she delves into, all of the trials and tribulations she's gone through in life. And she also gets surprisingly political and social on here. And she's not afraid to bear her emotions and her beliefs on her sleeves here. But not in that kind of grading flavor of the month type of way. Everything she delivers here feels extremely authentic to her and who she is as a person and as an artist. And none of this would have been possible or successful if it wasn't for the absolutely fantastic production that they have here. They're able to handle everything that she threw at them, whether it called for something that was extremely vulnerable and intimate or something that was, triumphantly defiant in nature. It was just all extremely eccentric and experimental, and it just worked. And it's some of the best stuff that you will hear all year. And then on top of all of that, you throw her already incredible and powerful voice that just oozes soul. She can pretty much do whatever she wants on the track, and it's going to sound amazing. And once you add all that together, you get one of the best records of the year and definitely a front runner for me. It's essentially 7 tracks of anti-rap rap, and it's extremely hard to kind of define because the production is so kind of experimental and abstract, and his rhyme schemes are so different. They've always been different, but it feels like he's pushing them to the extremes even more here, and yet somehow it just all works. If this was like a 20-track long, project where each song was 4 minutes long, I'm not sure that I'd be saying the same thing. But because it is only 7 tracks long and each song rarely goes over a minute and a half, those kind of quick bursts of murky, abstract, dark, moody beats mixed with his extremely weird delivery and rhyme scheme just works here. And you can see why so many people are such a fan of him, because he is so kind of different and unique compared to what is already out there. It certainly won't convert any people who weren't already a fan of him, but it would only deepen sort of this mythological image that people already have about him even more. Wow. Just wow. It's hard to describe this project as anything less than an experience. Everything she does and says here just oozes of theatrics and spectacle. She takes us on an extremely somber and emotional ride through 9 tracks that by the end of it, you really feel like you have physically been through something. And her unique blend of trap, pop, soul, electronic, and little hints and touches of classical is unlike anything I have heard ever, let alone just this year. What she accomplishes here is just phenomenal. And when people describe musicians as kind of auteurs, this is who they're talking about. The production is just out of this world and so atmospheric. And when you throw on top of that her kind of already ethereal type singing voice, you really get taken to a whole nother stratosphere. And the whole listening experience is just as much visual as it is audio, if that makes sense. This is Tory Lanez at his absolute best, when he can just fully, unabashedly, replicate and emulate some of his favorite songs and artists throughout the years. And Chixtapes is that guilty pleasure series where he gets to do exactly that. Cover 90s and 2000 hits, particularly in the R&B lane, and kind of add his own flavor and flair to it that a lot of times are just as good, as, if not better, than the original. He's another one who has never really found his true identity as an artist in music, particularly post Oasis. But everything he has put out, particularly his first kind of solo project, has been more than serviceable. And this is just that, a very serviceable album. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad either. It's kind of in that middle ground that clearly wears his influences on its sleeves, but he does it extremely well. If there's anything I would say, it really feels like he kind of lost a bit of that hard edge to him, because this is clearly in that kind of pop realm, particularly with his vocals, but his vocals still are extremely good. It just doesn't really have that rock edge to it that you kind of expected from him throughout the years. At this point, his bark outside of music is far tougher than his bark when he's actually on songs. He's never really been able to kind of find that perfect balance between his more introspective, thoughtful side, almost poetical side, and that kind of looking for that pop, top 40 sound that he wants to marry. And he's never ever really been able to marry that together on an entire project. And while this project is definitely better than the last few that he has put out, that's not really saying a whole lot, and he still kind of struggles to find that balance, because when he starts to get more introspective and deep, he kind of pulls back as not to kind of alienate listeners. When I think at this point he needs to just go all in, because he has his core fans. I don't think he's ever going to be that breakout, star, mainstream crossover star. So he might as well just cater to his core fans. And while he kind of came back to that here, he's half-stepped there. There's always a fine line between, honoring an artist's legacy and giving something to their fans and cashing in on said legacy. Here, it clearly sounds like these are a lot of throwaways and leftover songs that if he was around, I'm not really sure that we would actually hear these. I just think that at some point you kind of tarnish it the more you try to live on without him, without that said artist being the one pushing that music forward, because you can never really get in the mind of an artist and know exactly what his intentions were with the song or a verse or whatever. So when you go to complete it and put it out, you always have that question in the back of your mind: is this what that artist wanted? And while there are a few moments that are worth, kind of going back for, it is largely one that I don't think many people will find themselves pointing to when they point out who Lil Peep was as an artist. But that's it for this entry into the Let's Talk Music series. What do you guys think about my opinions and thoughts on some of the albums that I talked about this time? What albums are you currently listening to? What albums do you think I should listen to and give my opinions about? Do you agree or disagree with anything I had to say here? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you like any the gear that I rock in these videos, like this shirt this week, you can also head over to the site and grab some for yourself. And if you like these videos, please smash that like and subscribe button, as it helps us out greatly. Thank you for listening, and I will be back shortly with more. As always, keep living life fearless. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.